Ho, ho, ho! Santa Scotty is here. Sorry it took a while. I. Hold on. Turbo Man, watch my knob for me, please.
Beware of evildoers.
Okay. So it is officially time for Santa Scotty to arrive to talk about Christmas movies. So Santa Scotty is here. He's got his loyal Christmas squirrel, Nutsy, here of course, Christmas tree. Very pretty as you can see, and Turbo Man is joining me for the very first time in my reviews. And of course the Santa Scotty hat. And we are here to talk some Christmas reviews. We had the eggnog. Deliscos. So we are talking about Home Alone 4. Also known as Home Alone Taking Back the House. Also known as Home Alone, the one with the McAllisters, but not really. Yeah. So you know how the third one, which I reviewed last year, go check that out. Third one, I actually kind of liked. You know, it didn't seem very Home Alone-ish because there was no. Hold on. Let me just scoot this just a little bit. There we go, better. There wasn't any. There's no Christmas to it. It was about trying to stop these three crooks from getting a microchip. It didn't seem very Christmassy. But I like the fact that they couldn't get any of the cast back, so they brought in new characters, right? This one says, hey, you didn't like that, so let's bring back the McAllisters, but not cast anyone that was in the movie. Now, I will say there were some good things about it. Overall, I did sort of enjoy this movie for what it was. I just feel like they should have focused on a different family instead of the McAllisters again. Because what they do with the canon of this franchise with the McAllisters just throws it out. Okay, first of all, Kevin is 9 years old. There's a million reasons why that doesn't work. Because one, this film came out in 2002. Kevin was 8 in the first film, which took place in 1990. Just hanging out. So if he was 8 years old then how many years from 1990? That's 12 years, right? So if we add that together, it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He'd be 20 freaking years old at this point. Right? Am I doing that right? Yeah, because from 1990 to 2000 is 10 years. And so that, yeah, he would be 20 years old. Yet, he's 9. And they don't specify what year this takes place. There's a whole bunch of technology. There's cell phones. So we can assume it's in the modern time. So does Kevin McAllister have one of those weird dwarf deficiencies where he doesn't grow, like it's a growth hormone like Isaac from Children of the Corn? I don't think so. That would be a 20-year-old little dude living with his parents. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes sense. I can see if they want to do a sequel, but the continuity just doesn't make any sense. Because he is 9 here. He was 8 in the first one. This is after the second one. He'd have to be over 10 years old. Because he'd be 9 in the second one. So... Because it takes place a year after the first one. So I don't... Also, they're divorced. Yep, they're divorced. The loving family who had some problems, they're now divorced. And at first you think, okay, it's Kevin, Buzz, and Megan. And you think, okay, the dad must have the other two. Nope, never mentioned, never seen. And why those two? I understand Buzz. Excuse me. Buzz is a very popular character. But they did not bring Devin Rattrey back to play him because he'd be in his mid-20s at this point. Yeah, do it. So they have this other kid with curly hair. He could just be Jeff, which was Michael C. Morona's character in the original film. And Megan was the oldest daughter. Megan was the oldest daughter with dark brown hair, right? Yet here, she's portrayed as she's younger than Buzz. And she has braces like Lenny did. You know, she's the one that goes, you're, as the French say, les incompetents. That's Lenny. She's the one. I had to look up the names. Because I thought it was them, and then as I was looking up, no, it's not. It's the two oldest children, which make no sense. You could have got a kid that was maybe 13 years old, right, to play Kevin. I understand you need a little kid for some things to work, but it doesn't make any sense continuity-wise. There are some things that connect continuity-wise. The fact that they love to watch It's a Wonderful Life, which is shown in the first two films. Like, even when they're in Paris, they're watching a French version of it. And here, they watch it, and they say we watch it every year. It's a tradition. And I do like that. I just realized my son is in there. Sonny, enough for you. But yeah. And beyond that, the dad is not only divorced, but he's getting remarried to a woman named Natalie who lives in this smart house. Like, when did this happen? Also, they bring back Marv, played by French Stewart. Immediate downgrade. Very much a downgrade. French Stewart is not scary. And there are times in this movie where Gavin acts scared of him, and I'm just like, why? French Stewart is not scary. He's the least scary person you can get. Daniel Stern, he was scary. I mean, he was goofy, but he had it very intimidating when he was very intimidating. And he was scruffy. He had scruffy hair, beard. He was very intimidating looking. French Stewart has short hair. He's very clean cut, very clean shaven. No, this is not Marv. His wife, played by Missy Pyle. Her name is Vera. And she's got a New York accent. And they say they met in prison. So I'm assuming after he went to jail in the second film, which I guess is canon, they met in the New York prison. I'm guessing. Also, there's a twist in this that is very obvious. It's sort of obvious if you really think about it, because they keep leaning towards this butler played by Eric Avari Prescott as being the one accomplice. And it's like, okay, they're going too heavy-handed with Kevin thinking that it's him, but it's revealed to be the maid, the housekeeper, whatever she is. And she's, not only that, she's Marv's mother. And they're breaking in because this royal family is coming to this house, and they want to steal the prince for ransom, I guess. And it's, yeah. But when the break-in finally happens, okay, so this is some of the biggest problems I have with some movies. Kevin keeps trying to tell him that something's happened, and no one believes him. Like, they keep saying, oh, these people are trying to break in, and like, they disguise themselves as people from catering, and it's like, well, can't you run background on these two? Say, hey, stay here, we're going to run some background. And like, we've never seen these two before. Common sense, right? No, not in this movie. No. Kevin, thinking that the butler is the one in on it, locks him in the basement. But it's revealed that it is the maid. But she's sneaking in Marv and Vera before the family even get there. Because they're supposed to do it on Christmas Eve. Couldn't happen because... And they're throwing this big old party for them. But now there's no party. They're just not doing it. And they're going to get this royal family. They're sneaking them in before... I guess they were doing that before, at the night before, but still. I don't know. And the reason that Kevin goes to stay in this house is because he's offered, and they're like, no, I'm going to pass. All the kids do. All the three that they have left in this movie. The other two exploded. I don't know. I can't explain it. Jeff and Lenny are just gone. But it would have made more sense if they were the two behind, the other two were in college or something. You know, you could say, hey, Megan's in college. Buzz is in jail. That sort of thing. I know before you... Actually, he's a cop in a new one. I know. I don't care. But in this continuity, he could go to jail. I would believe that more than being a cop. But yes. So... Then the shenanigans begin. There was, French Stewart is not intimidating at all, but he is good at the pratfalls. He gets hit by this flying pan and just biffs it. And I did laugh at some of this stuff. It's not as funny as, Daniel Stern getting hit with a freaking brick, but some of this stuff is funny, But Kevin does try to reach his mom, but he can't reach her because there's cell phone problems or whatever. And he and the butler just stage an escape. That Kevin eventually gets out and tries to defend the house. Which, what was their plan? That's what I want to know. Like, they're sneaking in, they're going to hide, and then when they're just going to grab them and take off. Like, it's like the whole party situation, they would have been able to sneak in, grab them, and get out with all the party commotion going on. How are they going to escape here? Is the mom gonna, play interference and distract them while they... I guess. But Kevin's mom realizes something is wrong. And like I said, the only reason he stays with them to begin with is because Buzz mistreats him. Which, that does follow the continuity of Buzz, but this kid is not intimidating as Devin Ratray at all. This kid is a skinny, little curly-headed, not intimidating at all. At all. The sister was more intimidating than him, and she didn't do much. I'm just saying. And so yeah, Kevin goes to live with his dad and Natalie, Peter. They did the names. They got the names right at least. And then, the mom calls Peter and it's like, hey, I'm trying to reach Kevin. He hung up before. Kevin's not with us. He's at home, and there's something. She realizes something's going on. Shh. Fine, I'll drink you. Did you hear it say, drink me. Talking eggnog. Anyway, so the dad, sensing that something is off too, is like, hey, I'm gonna go. And for me, I guess I'll explain it when we get to the end. The stepmom is like, what? What are you talking about? We gotta go do this. This is more important. He goes, no, my son is more important. So he takes a cab and he goes back to the house. And they all arrive at the same time to see Kevin, taking care of business, so to speak, and revealing the truth, as well as the butler. The butler resigns thanks to Kevin telling him, because the reason he thinks the butler is involved is because the cameras were turned off when the first break-in occurred. They were scanning to see if there was any, what do you call that? Going through and getting the layout of the house, yeah. So he thinks, but he reveals that he was just taking a break because he hates working there for her, and so he resigns. And then Peter McAllister is like, hey, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm going to get back together with my wife. And be with my family on Christmas is what I want. And it's just a whole hunky-dory ending. The family's back together. They do this thing where they have the talking thing, door open. Open the sesame, that sort of thing. And so the butler's like, music on. So starts playing music. And then Kevin goes, snow on. Snowfall. And I'm like, what? Did he just actually make it snow? How the hell does that work? Is there a special command in the freaking sky? They don't explain it. And the movie just ends. And, oh, by the way, the royal family's going to go stay with the McAllisters at the McAllister house, which doesn't look as big as it did in the first one. I don't know if they ever show the outside of the house specifically. Oh, and Buzz and Megan help him take down Marv and Vera, despite the fact that they hate each other, and then they're like giving high fives and hugging each other. It's like, wait, no, Kevin, you left because you hated them, Buzz especially, and you just, hey, yeah, okay. I know, end of the day, it's your brother and sister. I get it, but there's no apology from them, so that plot point goes nowhere. It only served to get Kevin to the house, and yes, like I said, it would be better if this was a totally different family, not connected. But I didn't hate this movie like I thought I was. I wanted to tear this movie apart. I really did. But there is there's a heart to it. This movie has heart. I'll say that much. But I do feel like maybe Natalie kind of gets the shaft here. Like, she's trying to do this thing and get these people. Like, she's treated as she has like an attitude, but she's not a bad person per se. I think it would have been better if maybe she was the accomplice and she's Marv's sister, so to speak, and she's the accomplice. Or if this was unrelated to the McAllisters, she could just be the sister of the person, This does awkwardly feels like a nondescript Home Alone rip-off movie, and they just put McAllister as all the names and picked the most popular characters. Hence why there's Buzz and Megan, but it makes no sense. And Kevin's the main character, even though by this point he'd be 20 years old. Yeah, I don't know. But it gets the middle of the road for me, because I did like some of it more than I thought I would, but it's nothing. I don't know. I'm going to watch the first two over anything, that's for sure. But, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Home Alone 4? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Santa Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.